Hello everyone and welcome to today's game of Anarchy in Lunaris. Today we are doing the first boss fight and I'm really excited because some players might die. Or maybe not, we'll see. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We are missing one player, player 4, Dagger, which is okay because Dagger had already failed a one check against a psychic assault attack, so he can be prone to mind control. I just wanted to check everyone concerning the veils and lines. Just wanted to ask one question. We had established that the one of the lines would be PvP. Does that does that include mind controlling some of the characters to fight some other characters or not? And if that's not fine, it won't happen. Something else will happen in the game. But like,
I think that the one who said PvP was Dagger, so...
I thought I remember him saying specifically like players planning to kill other players.
That's also what I had in like understood. I just wanted to make sure with everyone that it would be cool. Okay, well, Dagger will not die from this encounter. I'll find a way to have specifically Dagger survive. For everybody else, we'll see. We shall see. Okay. So your characters are right outside the front door.
I believe.
Sorry.
Did they meet up with me outside the front door?
Yes, they met up with you outside of the front door. So you have all met up. Maybe not exactly outside the front door, but like in the corridor that's outside of the chambers where your target is. Your mission is to overcome this person, and Edric of Ladsburg, and force him to transmit the speech to the whole population. He is the main. He's the person who calls workers to work and who does a lot of like propaganda by pouring his powers directly into people's minds. So you know he's dangerous. You know he's already attacked psychically one of you. Vand, you've felt Dagger is like in like watching some of his worst memories. And he's stuck in a loop with that and trying to like come back from it. But you know that you might be exposed to something similar, and you know that it might take some trickery for you to win this fight. So while you're still outside, what do you do?
Do I have any inclination that Dagger is currently indisposed?
He looks very twitchy. He's looking over his shoulder. There's some moments where he just like his stare becomes blank and he zones out. Like he seems extremely distracted and confused. So yeah, you do have this sensation that like there is something going on with Dagger right now.
Walter sort of like extends a hand towards him, like not to shake or anything, but then looks to Van, silently trying to indicate what's going on.
I kind of tell him that someone's been prying into his mind, but I can't really say what's going on, or else I open up my own.
Do they know what he knows?
I don't know.
Rifle, you're on mute. Just pointing it out in case you've been trying to.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just looking through my spells, see what I can do.
All right. Now, it'd be good to take into consideration what each of you specifically could do to, like, all of you have one way or another to make this to avoid being attacked by psychic powers, to avoid others being attacked by psychic powers. So, like, you have some options. It's just a matter of like figuring things out. So, what's the big plan?
Yes, this goes down the wrong way.
First, I take off one of my powers and put some matrices on.
Alright, when you're casting something on yourself or on your allies, you don't need to roll projection unless your allies are very far away. But yeah, that's enough for your projection. Within 300 feet, you are able to sense the use of powers and notice the presence of individuals who share this ability. There is one psychic on the other side of that door. You can't tell exactly where, because something is affecting your ability to pinpoint where they are exactly. You know they're in the room, and you know that there are multiple psychic powers active at this very moment, two of which might be affecting you. You perceive so you perceive an area. Okay, yeah. So you perceive 5 active powers: link matrices, area, psychic shield, psychic illusion, and a second psychic illusion. Link matrices allows the psychic to tap into the psychic powers of other psychics to fuel their own powers. Area allows a telepath to use all of his powers on everyone inside of an area. Psychic shield protects someone against augments someone's psychic resistance against psychic attacks, mostly. And psychic illusion can affect the mind, can affect the mind, make people perceive things that aren't really there. The fact that there's 2 is weird. Yeah. Could everyone roll? What's it called? Yeah. Could everyone roll psychic resistance for me, please? Because there's a second layer to this.
Woo! I automatically passed.
Oh,
Whatever it is.
Okay.
Last time I got 1, so this is good.
That's Vand, right?
Yes.
Okay. So never mind what I said earlier. You are able to pinpoint exactly in the room where all of those psychic powers are coming from. You realize there's a first psychic illusion that's the one that was described to you by Walter, and there's a second one that hides where exactly Vladsburg is, but you have passed this one. So hold on one second. So this is going to be 240. This is going to be 240 as well, which means I'm pretty sure it's a 180. Okay, cool. So Vand passed, and Avalon Rifle, you did not. So you are so in this case you are going to see something. Like your characters are going to be seeing something different. But yeah, that's what you can tell by sensing matrices. That's already pretty good. Do you relay that information to the other players?
Yeah, so we're still in the other room though, right?
Yeah.
So I tell them that I'm getting a sense that there's a psychic illusion, but I've pinpointed where he actually is.
Quick question. I was being guided here by two animate armors. Are they with us?
They left.
Okay. That's good. Walter will slowly nod his head. To Rifle, he is going to say, if Edric is in Dagger's mind, and he knows that I am a part of this, then this whole armor and mask I've brought are pointless. It might be better for me to walk in there with bearing my normal face, just to see if I might be able to get some amount of surprise.
Mm.
I might be able to deceive him into thinking that I am at least partially on his side.
That's a really interesting idea.
I'm not saying this out loud though to Vond or to Dagger. I'm saying this specifically to Rifle, but through the Essence connection.
Yeah. Not really a bad idea, but he could relay the information to the entire town if he wants.
I could send him away to protect.
No, that's the thing. If he has seen any of what Dagger knows, then he knows him.
Yeah.
All of this additional armor would be pointless against the psychic anyways.
Yeah, well, maybe against a psychic, but not if he calls guard.
Based on your estimates, you're going to have 20 turns of fighting before the guards arrive, based on where they usually are in the mansion, which is about a minute. Because Edric always seems pretty sure of like the security of his hall full of traps and illusions. At least that's the impression he's given you, Walter.
Rifle, you have no ability to improve my sight in terms of finding him. Nothing to make it harder for his powers to affect me.
He's asking if you can boost his psychic resistance.
If it were a mage, I could have, but not against a psychic.
Bond whistles because she can't help with that either.
Bond is not a part of this conversation.
Yeah, but he can still whistle from. Yeah, I'm kidding, but yeah.
He can still whistle.
So I have a spell that might work against him. I don't know the guy, and I don't know if he does have a big endurance, or if he's like really endurance. So,
He is
but
a Vitala, so he is pretty endurant.
yeah, but he's also a mentalist, so a psychic. So, well, here's my idea. I have one spell that affects everything in an area, and I might be able to hit him with this. But we will need to stay away. Basically, it will target his fatigue, and as psychic, maybe I hope that he will miss as matrix. Amatrice, and that we will take him down like that. But yeah, I don't really have anything else that I can use against him.
Vaughn, do you have any ideas? And
No. Oh, sorry, I was mute. Maybe you could suck the magical essence out of him and I look at rifle. Which I guess he wouldn't see me looking at a rifle, but I do. I don't think he'll have much in the form of magical stamina.
but how do we enter the room?
Oh, well that's easy. We don't need a door. I know where he is, and I know how to get.
So, you mean you want to move us all into the room directly on top of him?
Maybe not directly, but at least on the other side of the. Or did you us want to use it? There's a door.
There is a there is a door. The front the main entrance. It's like oaken double doors with like some silver decorations that like in the shape of like a sort of weird arabesque. It's very like it's a very more like the Gothic type of architecture that you're in right now. Also, you already tried to teleport everyone inside earlier, and that didn't go very well. You might want to prepare your plan. You might want to prepare your plan for only teleporting. Only one person ends up in the room.
See, the thing is, the only limiter. Walter's so heavy with his armor. Like, I can teleport everyone else, and it's just like.
Walter is heavy without his arm.
The thing is, like, the way the power's set up, it's either like I could almost teleport Walter, or I can teleport, and then like the next like row after that is like, oh, I can easily teleport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Concerning the teleportation spell, you could you could mix your plans. Walter had the idea of going in without his mask and trying to acquire Edric's trust. You and some of you could teleport in. So
Yeah, I can teleport in the back, or we could teleport behind him while you try and go talk to him and try to sneak attack. Well, I guess he knows we're here, but he won't. He might not know where we're attacking. Did you guys hear me?
Yes. Weird question. Do I know whether or not Edric is capable of using mental
what?
research?
You are not aware of whether or not he has this power. You know that he was appointed to the position that he has because he specializes in being able to affect a wide area. So he's like mental communication reaches out throughout the entire city of Crankfort. He's able to. I think he has like a 6 miles radius on his psychic powers. That's what he is known for. That's what he's very good at. And you know he has a combination of powers that goes with that. But that's about all you can tell.
Alright.
Okay.
I could go in without my mask. You could teleport in and try to take him by surprise.
Okie dokie.
All right. So who? Vand, you start concentrating. How long do you concentrate? Vand?
I will not concentrate because I think we don't have, or we have like a time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
All right. If you want, you could concentrate like 5 turns. That's like 15 seconds or something like
That
this.
would be enough time for him to walk in.
Mm-hmm. If
Sure.
if Walter walks in first. All right. So Walter, can you describe what you're doing? I want to like get a sense of like your posture, whether a rifle is in your hand or is in your back or is on you at all. What do you do?
A rifle, if he's fine with it, will be on my back.
Yep.
And he marches into the room with his sort of like military gait. However, there's like a slightly dour, grim look on his face as he approaches Edric from in the room. Obviously, he is on the other side of the room. He does not
Right.
walk through the traps yet.
So I'm letting you move your character. Remember, Edric has mentioned you should never go past that you shouldn't go past the tip of the heart because that's where problems can start to happen for guests.
Is this a real, is it really like 25 feet to go from here to there?
I'm not good at like distances, especially distances in feet. Does it look like it would be to you?
It looks like it might be a little bit short.
A little bit short?
But not, especially if this is like a really fancy big room.
Yeah, this is like a large room. There's room for like a few traps and things like this.
Okay, yeah. In that case, it might be a little bit short. Like I don't know. I might take it to like 40 feet.
Okay. So yeah, we can say that like distances are twice as large as the one the scale is doing right now. Is that fine with everybody?
So the scale is the same as.
No, the scale is half.
Okay.
So like for example, right now the distance between why isn't it happening? Okay. The distance between Walter is and where he sees Edric is going to be not 70 but like 68 feet right now.
Okay, so it's double.
Yeah, it's double. Yeah. Okay. So you come in. You find Edric. He's jumpy. He's surprised to see you. He says, it's you. There's been some reports of some commotion outside, and then I heard something landing in a room in this direction. Something crashing. I thought maybe was it you? You haven't been sneaking into my house.
It was not me. I came in through the front door.
All right, Skelmore, what are you here to do?
There is an update in the case of the rebellion.
Ah, yes. It's good of you to keep me informed first. This way, I can inform the people of what the treacherous rebellion is planning next. What is their what do you have to tell me?
Well, it troubles me. I may have found a place where they are located, where they have been hiding in the city. However, there's something I don't understand.
What is that?
We cased the site, and we found some interesting articles. It leads me to believe that this might be bigger than we're expecting. And this is going to be him spinning a yarn.
Okay.
Did you do a persuasion or something?
Yeah. Like you're trying to make this a convincing thing. Is a rifle with you, on you?
He is on my back, still wrapped up, if that's cool.
Okay. Rifle, you. Okay, rifle. Can you use what's it called?
Magic
Right.
apprehension?
Yeah. Roll magic appraisal, please.
Ooh.
Mm.
Oh.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a 2. Roll 1d100 for me, please,
Yep.
to see how bad you fail.
Did I grab my please?
Delicious.
Okay. 81. So that brings you to brings you to a score of 31, and it has to be a failure of some sort. So you look at this guy with your magic senses, and you see this flicker of magic. This person not only has the gift, he's a wizard, but on top of that, he is he has some good magic appraisal. He's able to hide his magic pretty well. You just caught the faintest glimmer of it, but yeah, you're certain he's not just a psychic. He's also a mage, or maybe he's a mage who uses the Book of Illusions to make himself look like a psychic. Whatever it is, you know he might be able to sense it if you accumulate, because of how poorly you rolled. You might be you might not want to activate any spells right now you're sensing that this person is magical. Okay.
I was wondering if through a lot of military jargon I could it's just because I am in the military and I have that background.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
if you could what?
If like that would help me at all.
Oh, yeah. So you're doing your job and you're trying to set things up. And yeah, right now you're distracting him very slightly. He's still a bit twitchy. He's still like looking over his shoulder. He still seems a bit stressed. But if there's something else happening in the background, if there's some people like trying to be stealthy by teleporting in the room or something, then I will. Then like you've just given them like a very small, a small bonus thanks to your persuasion roll. Now,
I was just going to say that he sort of intends to persuade, or to give the implication that maybe they don't just have these people they're after, maybe they have additional members, and maybe they even have magicians.
All right, which is somewhat fair. You don't know how many people are actually in the resistance, because it's like it's sort of like it's a somewhat loose network. So there might be more people that you just like haven't come into contact with. So
We're just
yeah,
in this city in part of this.
yeah. Do you have the intimidation skill?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and roll for it.
Oh, that's better actually. Not much better, but better.
Okay, 86.
Dang it! My rolls. No.
So yeah, whoever tries to be stealthy while you're being threatening about what's happening with the rebellion gets a plus 20 to their stealth thanks to your roll. Okay, Vand, you've had an entire minute to concentrate. You have a plus 40 on your psychic concentration if you want to act now, or are you waiting for something specific?
No, I'll do it now, but I did the 30, and that's fine. I did more than enough to teleport us.
Okay.
I said I already rolled.
You already rolled. Perfect. So, all right. So on the map, okay. You see that Edric of Latsburg is actually right here. Let's see. Can you all see this when I do that?
I could see.
Yes.
All right, yeah, it's shift click. All right. So yeah, that's where you're sensing him coming from. When you extend your psychic senses into the room. So you want to teleport right here?
Yeah, where I kind of put my person.
Okay. That's like, okay, so you appear in the room. I think what's his name? Dagger is going to appear next to you and immediately moves to one of the pillars to hide. So he's rolling for stealth. I'm gonna need you to roll for stealth as well, because you're just popping out of nowhere, somewhat within Edric's field of vision. So he might be able to perceive you. So yeah, roll for stealth.
I said you get +1. You said +20?
Yeah, you got a +20 because of his distraction. Okay.
I'm gonna use 2 fatigue on this. Because I just realized I have -20 in stealth, and I thought I had points in stealth, but I'm lied.
You didn't put points in stealth?
Well,
that happens. You rolled higher than him. That's really good.
that's really sad.
It is unfortunate. Poor psychic, man.
Okay. And stealth for Dagger. Dagger has 115 stealth. He is okay. Okay, so yeah, you. Where do you place yourself to be hidden, or do you just appear in the shadows and not move?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right. You see Dagger moving behind the pillar, and he is he's scouting. He's preparing to attack, and you see that he is looking towards. He's looking towards the throne in front of the statue, and there's nothing there to you. But it's where Walter is also talking. So Walter and Dagger are seeing something that you are not seeing right here, and they both seem to think that this is where Edric is. What do you do? Also, Avelby, can you roll notice, please?
Yes. Sorry, I should click on my. That's my notice.
All right. You do perceive Vand appearing. Shadow Dagger is too stealthy. Immediately creeps back into the darkness. You don't spot Shadow, but you do see where Vand is.
I will use telekinetic trap or psychokinetic.
Okay. Alright, potential projection.
And then it's an attack, correct? Yeah?
Yes, you roll projection against my
So technically I got, because of courageous, I got 14.
You got?
Yeah, or effective 14 strength.
Okay, an effective strength of 14. Very nice. Roll plus 14, and I get to roll against what? Dexterity or agility, right?
Yeah. So you said roll plus what? Plus 14.
Yeah, roll plus 14. Good. Do I spend fatigue on this? Yeah, probably. Okay, I roll plus 14, so unless you roll a 1, no, you are able to you are able to seize Edric of Vladsburg, freeze him into place. Let me just see by how much.
I'm gonna take mind control off to keep it on.
Okay. So this is put at weapons point trapping. Trapping 2. Okay. If you have succeeded by a margin of 6 points, the defender is mostly immobilized. That means some huge penalties, but not fully immobilized. He can still.
So close.
You needed to win by more than 10 points, so you'd have needed to roll a 10 for that. Let me have a look. So the special combat modifiers, being mostly immobilized, he is at minus 80 on. He's at minus 80 on all of his actions, minus 30 to initiative, and minus 60 to physical actions. All right, it is time to roll for initiative. Oh, no, not minus 300, minus 30. Okay, hold on. I'm putting up the... okay, sorry. Click your character token, and then roll initiative now. Unless you rolled really well earlier, then you can just, like, keep what you have. Oh, wow, I rolled really high. Okay, cool. And trapping, I can get trapping back if I need to. Okay. Alright.
How do I add myself onto it?
You have to click your character sheet. Your character's token, and then roll for initiative while it's selected.
Can I keep my original one though?
Yes.
Did I hear that right? In that mind control was dropped? Yes.
Yes.
You heard that right. You're not being mind controlled. I do remember you saying something about that at the end of the last game, as that being part of your strategy, that you were being mind controlled by one person, so you might resist mind control from another person thanks to that. So you feel that grasp on your mind, this thing that's just making sure you're doing everything okay. It lifts. You're free. You're in control of your actions anymore. You're in control once again, and you realize, yeah, it's kind of you're in a very stressful situation that could go either way. That could have you killed, branded even more of a traitor than your family already was, and you're putting all of your faith on those two. On those resistance fighters, and yeah, it's scary because you don't know how this will end. Okay, and descending, Dagger gets the first initiative. Dagger sees you, like sees Van starting to do something with her mind. He sees the image of Edric being surprised, and he and like they're both acting surprised, but just like the illusion is also reacting to this. And Dagger is going to run towards him and try to. Oh wait, no. Does he have a ranged attack? Let's see. Tanto, Dagger. I think daggers are throwable, but I think he would, because of the blood of Roboros and other things. Yeah, I think he is going to try to run and attack with 2 dagger attacks. So, yeah, he runs forward. And like you, I am still gonna make an attack, 2 attack rolls just for the lols. Okay. So Walter, you see Dagger running up and like sliding under the statue, slashing at Edric's tendons. Edric falls to the ground in a pool of blood. Dagger just like stabs him in the shoulder again. He is howling in pain, and then you, Vand, you hear a click. Nobody else hears it, but oh no, wait! None of you resisted to see the traps. Walter, you're able to see the traps because he took that off of you. You see, so Walter, what you see is basically like the floor under the throne where Edric is supposed to be opens, and there's a pit of spikes down there, and Dagger is going to try to use some acrobatics to avoid falling in there. Because like the moment he starts passing through, he is able to see a little bit better. Okay. So you all see basically Dagger has like plants one of his weapons like on the edge and hangs there, but his feet fall to where there's to where some of the spikes are reaching, and you hear a sharp yelp of pain. For Vand, you've just seen your friend vanish through the floor that's still existing. So that's it for Dagger's turn, and he takes 16 points of damage from that. So that is 16. That's going to be 109. Okay, Vand, it's your turn. What do you do?
I'm gonna shoot though.
You're gonna shoot what?
I'm gonna shoot lightning.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make your roll. The fact that you rolled 100 to resist to see exactly where Edric is makes this fight a lot easier for you. Okay. Projection. So he is gonna try. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's actually a pretty good roll for someone who's really bad at this. Okay, your projection, you hit 90% of your weapon's damage. He is an old vampire who wasn't really trained into combat. So yeah, you hit for 90% of your weapon's damage. How much is that? Vand?
That should be 126.
Okay.
And yeah, the electricity, right?
You turned into a total rope.
Okay, hold
Yeah,
on.
my died.
So it's 120, and I said 90%. 0.9. That is 108 damage. Okay, that is. Oh, so you're breaking up a lot. Oh yeah, your mic died. Got it. Okay, so that is a critical. He is currently at 57 life points left. Okay.
Do you do the whole electrical damage roll?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. The base. Okay, 126.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay. He's able to resist the critical. I'm not so sure about resisting the electrical damage. Avalby, can you say how? Can you explain how that works? Because I think you know that much better than I do.
Well, I brought up the page when I saw the electric arc come up. He needs to make a PHR, physical resistance, against the damage he took.
Okay, so it's like a critical, and what happens if he fails?
All action penalty equal to the number by which he failed, and they fade at 10 per turn. If he fails by... Ooh, he's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, he's still gonna be able to use his psychic powers properly, but he should be on the defensive. But for some reason, he's not. Okay, so Van, yeah, you hit him with this jolt of electricity. You see him like you can feel the raw power you're discharging into him, like hit him, and then slide up this tube that he has that's connecting him to this machine where there's a few other people.
He did not take any negatives to his die.
Oh, is he supposed to have negative? I don't. Wait. Where are the
There's
negatives?
a trap that he activated. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Oh,
There's a trap from
God.
before.
Which trap?
The one he activated.
Oh no!
Uh,
He didn't activate it. Like the traps are already ready to spring, basically. So he didn't have to do anything for Dagger to fall. Like basically, the Dagger fell
Yeah.
because like
yeah.
anybody who
that's
steps.
like-
Okay, cool. All right. So, Edric.
Look at what Fernando said on the Roll20.
Yeah, I think he should get minus 80 because he's held by my trap.
Oh, that trap. Oh, yes, you're absolutely right. So, in fact, you have done. You would have done an extra 80% of your weapon's damage. 80% of 120. 0.8. 80 times 1.2. 1.4. Is. Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's an extra 112 damage.
But you're not supposed to kill him, guys. That's too bad. That's the wrong idea.
Okay. So I think I'm, yeah. Hold on one second. Okay, minus 73 life points. Because he was being held in your trap. So he actually does not resist the critical as much as he was supposed to. That's a total of like 140, 100, and so that's 252 damage. So, can somebody roll 1d100 for critical location? Because that is 108 points of like 108 margin of success for the critical. Yeah, Van, can you roll 1d100 for me, please? Thank you. 16. Okay, so that is going to be a located critical. It's gonna be a huge penalty for me. Okay, so 100 and I think I said 108 of failure. Let's just say 101 to like okay. Okay, suffers an all action penalty equal to the level of the critical, diminishes by 5 points per combat turn up to half its value. If the hit is on a limb, it is irreparably destroyed or amputated. If it's the head or heart, the person dies. You've hit the shoulder. You've hit his shoulder pretty bad. He takes a penalty of minus 100. I think it was 106 to all of his actions, which is going to destroy his psychic potential. And on top of that, electricity. That's gonna be 149 minus 100 and 126, 100 and 2. Sorry, trying to do math quick here. 8, 3, 2. So 238
Sorry, by the way, Vitala don't suffer critical penalties unless something's gone.
Okay. So... Okay, thank you for reminding me of this. So basically he gets hit in the shoulder pretty bad, but he doesn't have any penalties. He still has a minus 89 to all of his actions from the electricity damage. So he's in a pretty bad shape right now. And he is still alive. Avelby, what's the maximum Vitala can survive under their in negative life points?
Actually, I was looking that up, and I was very wrong. They don't have an additional amount of life points. It's 5 times their Constitution score.
Okay. I have a Constitution of 10, so I can be in minus 50. Edric
Yes.
of Vladberg is dead. Vand, you concentrate your electricity, you strike him straight in the shoulder. He's already trapped by your magic. You've seen past his illusion. You get him. Like, the shock instantly downs him. He falls on the floor. You see his the giant sphere that he had holding the 4 people crashes on the floor. Two of their bodies being squished under the weight of this thing, and all of the illusions that he was holding just drop immediately. All of you can see the room for what it really is. All of the traps that are everywhere, the fact that he is not where he was supposed to be, the fact that he looks like an old man who just got electrocuted with a ton of electricity. And yeah, and 2 of the psychics that were being held into his sphere are like die from the sphere crashing on them. Okay, Rifle, it's your turn. What do you do?
Well,
Okay, we should
really know.
we should technically be out of combat now, but I just like you have the opportunity to act very quickly. There are certain things that you can do. There's things like natural magic that can bring people back to life, or there's
I don't really have that kind of power. I can bring him back as a zombie, or try to cast dead body on him.
Are you relating this to me?
But yeah. But no, it won't be anything of use.
all right.
Even if we brought him back to life, his orb is shattered.
I
Indeed.
didn't think I would. I'm sorry. The lightning bolt is too strong.
It's alright.
Hey, is it this like main guy who tortured her?
Oh wait.
Is it what?
Isn't he like one of the main guys that tortured her?
He is. You know that. Like, you don't know who for certain who was at the top of that experiment. You do know that you were being held in one of the Vitala's labs, in one of the like places where Vitala developed things. I think Walter is aware that that he was trying to create psychic undead, and that was part of the things he was participating in. But I don't know if Walter told you or if you read it in Walter's mind yet. So, Walter, have you communicated this information with Vand?
No, not unless she found it in his head.
Okay.
I don't know if he would have figured that's a good idea to give that information going into being especially mad. going into an operation is a good idea.
Yeah. So
I assume she was already mad enough with the no being tortured and experimented on her whole life.
Yeah.
Right.
I might have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I can bring back his spirits. But will only be able to talk to his spirits and nothing else.
If you want to gather information. The objective here is lost.
Indeed.
You.
Or maybe he does have something. Because
Oh, sorry. Your conversation is interrupted by some tipper tapping. You hear this like clinking, like something hard going against metal, like there's many legs or many daggers poking at something. When you turn to look,
okay,
you see
where's the spider?
Yeah, you see the spider extracting its head from inside of the sphere that it was in, and an Ibudan, which is like their angelic creatures, who's also like crawling back from under the sphere and like looking around confused. The Ibudan has scars on his head, like brain surgery was performed on them, and Vand, you recognize, yes, this is one of the people that you saw in the labs. This is one of the test subjects.
The angel one or the spider?
The Ibudan. The spiders, they're called Lagor. They're a species of naturally psychic animals.
Okay, I kind of cry out and say, "We're freed, finally."
Okay.
Are you freed?
The Ibudan looks around and looks at the body of Edric and runs towards it and just like starts vigorously stomping on the head of the old vampire in a sort of like frenzied in sort of frenzy. The spider is starting to crawl away. It's heading towards one of the walls, and you can see that it is already starting to cast some psychic powers. What do you all do? You can, if you want to try to stop something that's happening, you can roll for initiative to see how quickly you're able to act. So yeah, what are your like your characters are seeing all of this because there's no more illusions in the room at the time.
Well, it's most likely that all of those things are psychics, and I say this to Abel, to Walter, and saying that the spider is trying to escape. I suggest to Walter that this isn't a good thing. I think we need to keep it.
Is it like climbing up a wall?
It's heading towards a wall to climb onto. There is a so okay. I'm gonna have to like find a spider. Oh wait, the free tokens. Spider.
He will, if I can actually do this, he will say to the spider, if you are intelligent and can understand me, you are in the center of Atala Keep, and you will need our help to escape.
Okay, so it's right here. That's what the Lagor looks like.
Spooky spider.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so you're trying to intimidate it. Roll for intimidation.
So I got better than I did last time.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so you it doesn't respond immediately, but it is going to roll psychic resistance, Walter, please. And you can try to dodge if you're able to see matrices, but I don't think that
I am not able to see.
okay.
Man, I haven't gotten over a 20 on attack resistance since I was mind controlled.
I don't have a character sheet for them. That's okay. Psychic potential 80. Okay. So, Vand, you're able to see that the spider is has some telepathic powers. It's starting to read Walter's mind. Walter, you can feel that there's something that's prodding at your mind. There's something that's trying to understand you, trying to understand what you're doing, what you're trying to communicate, and it hears your threats, and you can feel it recoil for a second from your mind, and then delve deeper. It's trying to understand the situation that it's in. It's trying to absorb as much information about Crankford as you have, and it's okay. It's going to activate a second power, and it's going to say, "How can you help?" That's this like animal thoughts that are coming into your mind. Walter.
He will direct a finger towards Vand and say, "She can teleport you using your same powers, and knows the city well enough to find a good escape point."
You hear the thought, "Why trust?" And
don't trust me, trust her. She's the one who killed him.
Okay.
I can do another persuasion check if you want.
Vand, can you roll a psychic resistance check, please? And you can also teleport out of. You can also try to dodge this. But basically, the spider is going to try to read your mind, and you can see the psychic power forming and going towards you. Do you want to try to dodge? Do you want to try to resist, or do you want to let the spider read your mind?
I'll let it read my mind, so that way it knows I was also a test.
Okay. So yeah, when the spider feels no resistance, it's like immediately goes into it, like grab as much information as it can. It's trying to piece together if you are trustworthy. And I'm just gonna Crankfort. Is there something? Ah, yes, Barovian Castle. That's a good music for this place. Okay. So yeah, it sees that you can teleport it. It sees that you can that it is in danger if it tries to escape alone. That's like supernatural creatures don't last very long in this city in general, even if they are able to make themselves invisible with illusions. Do you want to help this spider? It is. It looks kind of repugnant. It has like a swollen brain, all and like a spine that looks like a brain. That looks like an extended brain that's over its thorax, and it has size for hands. It looks pretty terrifying, but it was in the same position as the Abudan, as the angel.
Yeah, I would totally want to help it.
Okay.
If it would allow.
All right. It feels your concern. It feels your empathy, and it stops moving away. It's gonna try to read all of the other minds present in the room to make sure none of them have harmful thoughts. Rifle, do you let your mind be Would you resist an attempt
Would
at
the
reading your
thing
mind?
think to read the mind of a sword?
It's able to sense minds, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
I know it has
It has mind reading, area scanning, which
Yeah,
does
it-
let it detect minds. Yeah.
exactly. Area scanning allows it to detect minds, so it's activating that. It's activated that in its like search for danger. Rifle, do you let your mind
Well,
be?
I can see what the others are going for, so I'm going to let it read. But Rifle is mainly thinking about how they can use the spider and the Abaddon to replace what was his name?
Edric.
Edric.
Edric. Yeah. So yeah.
All right. So the spider feels this idea in your mind. And the spider is and the Lagor asks you, why do you do this? Why would I? What consequences are you looking for? And would those consequences help me?
To me? Or
Yeah, to you, just because you had this idea.
so I'm somewhat surprised, but not really. So I explained to her that it isn't it isn't really something I want, but it's more of like I am required to do this.
Okay.
I let someone die. No, I feel pretty bad about it.
All right. Okay, just give me 1 sec.
And about how that's going to help you, well, it's pretty much gonna strengthen our organization. So we'll have more power to let you go free.
Okay, roll for persuasion.
Okay.
Nice, you have some really good persuasion. Okay.
Indeed.
Yep. The Lagor agrees to help. It says, usually my species stays out of the affairs of bipeds like you when we're not controlling you. But I
I'm not a
understand.
biped.
I understand the danger. I can see in your mind the complexities of the world outside. I will help. But I'm going to need the support of both psychics. And like right now, it extends its mental communication to everyone. And it says, I can send the message that you were trying to send. Not to as many people. I won't be able to reach as far as Edric. But if you give me time to concentrate, and if both psychics reinforce my powers, I can do something. You have to trust me with an extra dose of power. The Ebudan. So the Ebudan, it's this redhead person. She takes one of the flags that are hanging throughout the room. You see her using a laser coming out of her hand to cut the flag, and she's gonna drape it around herself because she was wearing only rags before. She turns around. She says, "I've been in the machine with the Lagor. It was always trying to seduce our master and trick it. It almost succeeded a few times. I don't know if it can be trusted.
Sorry.
Can I try to use mental research on the spider?
Yes, you can. It will immediately try to resist you.
Well, first, can I ask them? I've opened my mind to
Mhm.
you. May I read yours?
It's like you immediately feel this sense of like recoil, almost like a cat hissing is the sensation that you're getting, and you hear the thought, my mind is sacred. Lagors, we are a race of pure thought. Our brains, our concepts are not so easily invaded by intruders and imitators who've stolen our powers from us.
I hate to interject, but you have created a bolt of lightning within the keep, and it was quite loud. Perhaps you should get everybody out of here before you plan any further.
Okay.
But found.
Just a second.
Okay.
I gotta concentrate real hard.
No, before you go, hit me with the same thing.
If you say so.
You're gonna hit him with lightning?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You
I have create electricity. Well, we could fake it, so I don't have to use a whole lightning bolt.
Use a whole lightning bolt. I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
I literally killed this person.
Yeah, but he's gonna. Okay, you can lower your attack score. To like you can lower your projection on purpose to do less damage if you'd like.
I was going to absorb blows.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably, unless he rolls stinking really high in his projection, I should be able to make it fine.
Okay.
Okay.
That's 204 with a 140 base.
All right. That is 130% damage.
100 and
30%.
okay.
I'm
130.
still standing. I have not. You got me almost to past half HP.
Okay, nice. You took into account your armor's protection of electricity, right?
I don't have armor on right now.
Oh, you took it off. Okay, cool.
Well, I never got to put it on. Is the thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you had done that outside, which would have been
No, I
helpful
figured
with the
that-
traps.
It would have been, but like at the same time, he didn't want to walk in there with some different armor and be like, "Hey, Edric."
That's true, and you could see, and you were the only one who could see the traps too, so that helped. Okay, so you take this blast to the face. The Ibudan, she turns to Vand, and you see her like closing her eyes, and your powers are strengthened slightly. You get a +10 to your potential because she is linking matrices with you, and you get another +10 when the Lagor adds its own psychic power to yours. You're getting a +20 from their participation in the psychic potential.
Would you care to roll your critical for me real quick?
Wait, you need to roll the electricity damage.
Well, their electricity damage was 182, which brought me down to 103 life points.
Yeah. Wait, was it a critical or not?
It was. I'm sorry.
Okay. Fernando, can you roll 1d100 plus the damage that you did? And
I'm fine.
okay, cool. Do you have a huge penalty to your actions, Appleby?
I have no penalty to my actions.
Oh wow! So you resisted both the critical and the electricity damage. Okay, that's pretty nice.
Oh, I didn't resist the electricity.
Yeah,
That's 182.
Yeah, you're gonna like be stunned by the shock.
Yes, I'm at negative 79, but that'll be gone in 8 turns.
Okay, all right.
Wait, 7. How many? Did you fell by 60?
Basically, because you're doing light electricity damage, you stun your opponents. You give them
Wait!
penalties.
I passed out. This is perfect.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you fell by 60, you pass out.
Okay,
Oh.
I hope I was allowed to convey that. Don't teleport me. If people see me go in here and then leave and then appear later, they're gonna know that I was a part of. They're gonna suspect I was a part of this. If I go down in the same way as he did, there's at least some doubt.
Ah.
Okay, wait. So, do you want me to keep dead body on, so you act like a dead corpse, or but you
No.
will still be conscious?
Oh, that's actually. Oh, I didn't have time to think about that. I could fake my own death.
Yeah.
You could fake your
That
own
would
death.
lose me my like bonuses as of noble though. So no.
Yeah, you'd lose your social status
So
advantage.
removing the spell.
Okay.
Also, please take rifle. I didn't say that. You don't have to count that I said that, but please take rifle.
Okay.
What? No.
I don't know if I can take.
Yeah.
125.
I can't understand the robot.
Yeah, you're breaking up a lot. You might want to type it, but you did go ahead and roll your potential for the teleportation with a plus 20. Okay, 244. You're able to transport 1,000 pounds up to 6 miles. So that is within the range. The range of powers of Edric. So this is within the city. You, where do you teleport everyone? Oh yeah, you talk the weird machine. Okay, where? Oh, you want to take the sphere with you? The sphere is pretty heavy. Okay.
All excess mass goes towards the psychic orb.
Okay. Okay, so what's 1,000 pounds? I'm just trying to like gauge how much this orb would weigh.
1,000 pounds is half a ton.
It's half a ton? Oh damn. Okay.
Wow! Apparently, fully grown brown bears weigh a ton. So half
Okay.
of a fully grown brown bear.
Half of a fully grown brown bear. It feels like that is teleporting the spider, the Ebudan, dagger, and Vand together would end up like being half of a big creature like that. Is Rifle being teleported as well? Vand, do you teleport Rifle? You leave Rifle behind. Okay, cool.
Oh shoot! Rifle, get out of here!
Feel
I can't really, but
feel free to
He's
reactivate.
one of the people from the pile from the orb.
oh, wait! I know. No, it won't work.
Throw yourself out a window.
Okay.
I can't move.
There are bodies
I
everywhere.
can move if I raise his corpse and make him.
There's also
me.
the two psychics who died.
They're dead. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Perfect.
Who killed the 2 psychics?
When the orb
Technically
fell,
you.
when the orb fell, it crashed on their bodies and snapped their necks because they were basically had their heads inside of the orb, and like the orb is a big metal thing that just fell from the sky when he died. So you're lucky 2 of them survived.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, now I feel bad.
I mean, like you, all of you have very strong powers, and when you use them on something like this, it's gonna have consequences. But you did save 2 people from being mind controlled into giving up their powers. So 4 people, technically, even if they're dead, they're not. I mean, like, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's up to you. Yeah. So you don't get to teleport the orb. Not enough power. You teleport everyone else. You. I'm gonna have to ask you where you're teleporting everyone, and also as you disappear, you see the Ebudan looking around, like she heard a voice in her head, and she didn't know exactly where it was coming from. And when you appear where you're going, she says, "Did anybody hear someone talk something about the spider?" And like none of you heard anything. Okay, you are going to Walter's house, so you're heading straight for the slums. You teleport everyone. It's a bit of a hit and miss at this range, so it's not everyone ends up inside. Like we're gonna say, Walter, you appear outside of your front door in the cold. Oh no, sorry, not Walter. Vand, you appear outside of the front door in the cold, and like you hurry up inside. The door is somewhat frozen, and like at this time of night, the winds are like howling through the slums, and it's very cold. But you make it. You all make it inside, and you have escaped danger somewhat. All right. So Walter is not with you. Rifle is not with you, and there's a big spider and an Ebudan with you. What are you going to? Okay, let's just go to Rifle real quick. Rifle, what are you doing?
So I have a plan.
Okay.
So first I raise one of the 2 corpses.
Okay.
At the basic level.
Okay.
Want me to roll projection or
no? You don't. Actually, like you do, because like right now you're on the floor here, and they're like. Hold on. You're on the floor here, and then like a couple of flights of step above. But you are able to hit the correct person with the spell. You see a Duxarist, a dark elf, like shuffling up, and its neck is like snapped completely over its head. You can see you can see like like a piece of bone jutting from its neck, and it shambles towards you, responding to your commands. You okay? So what is the 100? Okay, so it's like it's new capacities that you give to the corpses. 100 points. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's no, not really. Okay, is level 0, so it does have like, it's 100 points of presence, so it's level 0.
Oh.
So it cost me 20 presence. So I could raise 5 zombies, but I only need 1.
Got it. Yes. Okay.
Next part. Now he's going to grab me, but while he is doing that, I'm going to accumulate magic once again.
You can't accumulate while you're holding a what's it called?
No, it's not.
Raised that isn't automatic. Got it.
Yeah, no. It's not
innate magic.
Yeah. I use real Xeon for this.
Okay.
Okay. So Do I have 2 more turns?
Yes, you
Okay.
you have at least that amount of time.
So, I'm going to cast Acquire Natural Capacities on him,
On
the intermediate state.
on yourself.
No, on him.
Okay.
Because I'm not organic, so
Uh,
I can't really.
all right.
have
You
that.
you could technically cast it on yourself, I think.
Okay, I will think of it, but for my plan, it will be better if it's him.
Okay.
So, I will use the 100 to take a flying ability.
Okay.
So I will give him big wings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just searching about how many movement points he would have.
Yeah, got it. Bear in mind, it's Gnosis 0, so it's probably natural flight, not magical flight.
Oh yeah, sure, it's natural flight.
So
Yeah. So yeah,
so he's
natural
gonna
flight.
sprout wings or something.
Sorry, what?
He's gonna sprout wings.
Yeah. So like bat wings or something like that. Okay, so he will grab me, and is there any windows?
Yeah. Not in this specific part of the keep. So like you're basically like in the safe room in the big hall where Edric felt safe. It's like far from the outer walls. You have to take your zombie through a couple of flights of stairs until you reach this like wide library that is lit by the night sky.
Okay.
And like you can see the red of the forges illuminating the scene from below.
Okay. So I'm most likely I will most likely encounter undead, right?
So at this point, you haven't encountered any undead creature, but you do see that there is an inanimate armor guarding the back of the library, and it's like shuffling around when the zombie gets into the room, and it's gonna like it's gonna start walking towards you intently.
Okay.
But it's a
So
construct,
things
not
are
an undead.
slow, right?
Yes.
Okay. Would I be able to make a break for it?
Yes, you can try to
Okay, I will totally do that. So that rumors of an undead Duxarist is running amok in the city.
All
And
right.
that will be perfect.
Okay. A zombie is wait. Oh yeah, it's the page that they skipped over. A zombie has
Naturally?
has no they don't have any athleticism according to this. So he's like, you start to try to make a run for it.
Okay.
My movement value is 5. It's still okay. But
Yeah,
like
it's 5, but I fly,
okay.
so it's 12.
So how much of a movement value are you giving it?
12.
12. Okay, cool. So you sprout like very wide wings that are very efficient. The zombie takes a couple of steps, and the wings just like take off in just a couple of flaps. You're all the way through the library. You fold your wing. The wings are folded back around you as you crash through the window, and like the zombie gets a little bit of glass shards planted in its body, but it doesn't feel pain, and it simply carries you through the night out towards your destination. Okay. Where are you going?
So I'm going to fly about somewhat above Walter's house because that's where they said they were going.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask the zombie to drop me. Then I will ask him to go away.
All right. So yeah, you are. Yeah. You take off from the houses of the undead. You fly through the night above those immense towers that start with the forgers and climb up to like the tubes through which supernatural creatures are dropped, all the way to the Baroque castles at the top. There's like a crescent moon that highlights your shape for some of the people walking on the bridges in this neighborhood who are able to see you. You make your way through the past some Fidus pit. You make your way past some extremely large forges and mechanical places that are mass producing either undead or weapons, and you make your way all the way to the habitation quarters, and I don't remember which ones are the habitation quarters, but you make your way to the slums, and like the city is much darker there, and like Crankford being built on this crevice, you follow the crevice for a little bit until you reach the until you reach like this point in the rock, and you're doing all of this through the eyes of someone whose neck was snapped back. But you like undead have strange senses, and it's able to take you where you need to go. And you drop what? And what did you say you were dropping?
Oh, I'm dropping myself on the house.
Okay. All right. And what does the undead do after that?
Oh, I'm going to send him maybe in fighting pits, and to fight any undead other than him, and try to kill them.
Okay.
And that's all.
So you're sending it to try to kill guards, basically guards that are protecting the pits. All right, cool. It's you send it there. You vaguely feel your connection to it for a few minutes. It's heading towards the nearest fighting pit. You sense that it gets into a fight, and pretty quickly you lose connection to your spell. You don't have to maintain it anymore. It got killed. It's disposed of. Also, just one thing.
Yeah?
Vand and Dagger, along with I think her name is Piper, and Lagor. You're just talking. You're having a nice talk, and then suddenly through the wood panels that serve as your roof, the sword comes crashing down, tip first, plants itself deep into the floor, and just like brings up like a cloud of smoke, but not smoke, but like snow that was on the rooftop that just poofs into the room. What do you do?
And I pick it up and I'm like, I thought you should be with Walter. Needed someone with him.
Well, Walter didn't want me with him. He feared that I would be taken to the armory or something like that. So I made an escape.
Right.
I guess I should have just brought you along then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it was much more fun that way.
Right. Walter, we'll get back to you in a second, but for now I want to see what you are what you're all doing, what your friends are doing, and because their actions might very well impact the how you get woken up. So the Piper and the Lagor are present. The Lagor seems a bit frustrated. It communicates with you and it says, "This isn't the outside of the city. You just teleported me in another part of this wretched place. Out. I want out of here." And
I couldn't teleport you to a safe spot. This is the first spot that came to mind.
this is safe? It's cold. I'm an insect. My brain is exposed. I could die in those conditions, you fool.
You've always got that room with the furnace in it now.
Yeah, there's a furnace over here. If you want to use it, we'll turn it on.
It has scythe hands. So it looks at its scythe hands. It looks at like the closed furnace door and at the pieces of wood that would need to be put inside of it. It looks back towards you and it's going to say, "I'm gonna have to one of you is going to have to do it," and or if you don't want to put in the mental effort of taking care of this, I can just control one of you to do it if that's more simple. And like you see Piper, the angel, she's like, I don't let him do that.
Okay, I do it, but as I do it, I also murmur under my breath. Maybe if someone has psychokinetic powers, they could do them themselves.
Oh wait. It actually has some psychokinetic powers, but I think they're only hold on. He has motion detection and telekinetic impact. He could have broken open your furnace. That's what he could have done. Or tried to kick some of the wood inside, but that's about like it's not good enough to like light it on fire.
It's just like playing pool. He just needs to bounce the wood into the furnace just the right way.
Yeah.
It was more of a joke, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, one does it.
The life of a Lagor is not necessarily a very pleasant one. Okay, you start a fire. That's around when Rifle comes crashing through, and bring a bunch of cold with it. You see Piper like she immediately like goes for a box of tools and some spare wood that Walter has laying around, and like tries to repair the roof as much as she can. She's saying thank you for getting us out. Thank you for bringing us to a safe place. I don't know exactly who you are, but I have recollections of there existing a resistance and people who are trying to save psychics like me, and I'm very grateful for you giving me my freedom. Is there what is the next step in the plan? Because I would appreciate being able to keep being free.
Well, planned on using Edric. We planned on using Edric to relay the message, but he was much more frail than I thought.
Alright. Well, my powers all have to do with light and helping others. Unless the message is in Morse code, I won't be able to help much. I could create a hologram, but those are very visual, and this sort of message doesn't reach anybody who can't read. So if you wanted to broadcast it to a large population, I don't know if enough people can read to see this, but I maybe I could. It could help to add some visuals. Do you have any powers that could contact people? Oh no, you wouldn't have needed Edric if you had that. And the lagger is just saying, I can help. And Dagger is, standing back, recovering from his psychic strain, and Dagger doesn't seem to know who to trust in this situation. So Vond and Rifle, you're the ones who are going to have to make decisions. What do you do?
Well, Vond, well, okay, so I'm thinking like this, Vond. Okay?
Okay.
Oh my god, it's horrible. So, a human zombie or an Ebudan zombie is not really useful. But a spider zombie could be useful.
I don't want to hurt. Well, they've been through enough being.
Yeah, that's been true enough.
Also, we established that undead can't be psychic.
Oh, yeah. I was taking into account that they won't be psychic anymore. It's just like a game spider would be much more useful if it attacks us and we kill it, and after we use it as a zombie instead of a human.
Yeah, it has natural weapons and venom. I don't know if the venom would survive, but the natural weapons would.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
that I'm advocating for this. I'm just saying that I get what you mean.
I was more thinking about climbing.
Oh yeah, that too.
It could be a useful spy, but yeah. So
yeah,
Rifle, so you're communicating this to Vond, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a sword. I don't really. The thing with my character is that I want the only thing that made him feel much more something is the death of his last owner. But everything else, it will be like having this approach to things.
Okay. So you have a very pragmatic, seeing things as resources type of.
Yeah.
All right.
I asked a Rifle to add the angel girl to our communication and question her about stuff.
I seem unhappy about that, but I do it.
Okay. Is it a daily spell, the communication, or do you have to maintain it every turn?
Oh yeah, it's a daily. So...
Okay, good. So you can like cast it for the first day and just maintain it if you wanted to.
On Vond, and I will maintain it.
Okay. All right, you're casting it on Vand.
The other one I will use as innate.
Okay. So she is Piper. I'm getting an image for her real quick. So yeah, you.
Oh, and yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
In theory, Walter can hear all of this because I didn't cut my communication with them.
That's true. It just depends on like how long he stays unconscious, or if he can remember anything while unconscious. Because he's speaking to his soul, not his ears.
Yeah. So maybe you're dreaming of this disembodied voice.
This weird conversation.
Yeah. You have this like, you feel that there's this talk and it's going to be part of your dream, but you were knocked out pretty good, so you might not remember everything. Okay. So, you're now communicating with Piper as well. She, you can see she twitches every time that a mind comes into contact with her own, when she feels that it's not a form of control, she eases up a little bit. She says, I don't really like this. I don't really like someone in my mind so recently. What do you want?
Earlier you mentioned that the spider was trying to seduce Edric and use his powers for his own. Do you think the spider's not to be trusted?
I think it's dangerous to trust it. I think it's you need some sort of warranty if we're gonna give it our powers while we're linking matrices. We can't ourselves use any psychic powers. So while it's concentrating to cast its power, we won't be able to use anything new, any new powers. We won't be able to anticipate it if it just turns around and attacks us. They're those types of creatures. I don't know. It doesn't have the same type of interest as us. It doesn't. I don't know what it's going to do, but maybe we could get some sort of warranty if we had someone who we knew could resist psychic powers, or maybe an automatic trap, something. We do for security.
I could use a psychokinetic trap so it wouldn't be able to move.
But if it's
if
it's able to take control of your mind, then you would then
yeah, I did.
Then you would drop
it.
it. Can you levitate things?
Can I levitate things? No.
No. Can you shield things?
No.
I can.
All right. What if we put a dangerous object over the spider and protect it with a shield, but if it tries anything weird, we drop the shield and it kills it.
That won't work because my shield disintegrates things. But if you're worrying that much, you can take me on a stroll in the city, and I could raise dead and have somewhat of things to bargain with her.
Bargain?
She don't want to be attacked.
Oh, and
by
that
the zombies.
Yes, but if it takes control of your mind, the zombies would have a very short time to do your or to act.
That is, if she can take control of my mind, I could be miles away.
That's true. I think that's a good plan.
But that would require to acquire those corpses and me to have some delicious magic. By that I mean I will need to kill people.
So yeah, she turns to Vand, Piper, and Piper says, "There's most people sell the bodies of their family members to the army so that they can create more creatures, and they get a good price for it. But if we had someone with money, we could get some corpses, or we could. I don't know about letting the sword kill people. It doesn't seem like a good way to help people. We're trying. Aren't you trying to help people? I thought the resistance.
I'm trying to help.
Yeah, the sword is a little morally ambiguous.
The Lagor is getting impatient. It says in your minds, what are you all just standing there saying nothing for? I can feel you bits of and pieces of thoughts from each other in one another's minds. You're trying to communicate. I want in on. We could all communicate with from my telepathy while you're leaving me out.
We're talking about painting our nails and doing a fashion shoot, but you don't have nails we can.
You can feel some frustration coming from it, and Piper just says, "We don't trust you. We're trying to find a way to make sure when we lend you our powers, you don't use them for evil." And
Why did you say that?
and it says, "I'm not evil. I'm just trying my best to survive. But if you have to take precautions, that's understandable. What precautions are you thinking about?"
Well, Rifle was going to maybe control the zombies to make sure you didn't try anything fast on us.
Right. Can't control undead. All right. Well, go get your zombies. That's the way you're gonna trust me.
Okay. So who's gonna do it?
Vand. You okay? So Dagger gets up and Dagger says, "I can help. I can wield you." I'm like,
Last time I spoke with him, he was really defensive about not killing people.
yeah. And I think he's still like that, but also he hasn't had blood today, and he might not want to kill people, but he's going to suggest you drink mana and find bodies in another way. There are places like the crypt.
Okay. Rifle is a little let down, but yeah, okay.
Right. So, Dagger takes you on a stroll, past a couple of zombie guards. You siphon some of their mana. You siphon their magic. Then he keeps going. He's very good at being streetwise and at being able to like move around the city without being spotted. You head towards the crypt. It's below far below the surface are ancient buildings. The very foundation of Crankfort is it's this strange maze of mausoleums, and it's not all Gothic. It's not all from Vitala crypts. A lot of those are burial sites for the people who lived here before the Vitala arrived. So you find yourself in like this very quiet place with tombs everywhere, and most of them have been opened already and have had their contents stolen for by the army. Not the Vitala, most of the Vitala graves are remain intact. Those seem to be respected around here. And deeper into the crypts, you see larger buildings, some of them oozing with magic. There are a lot of artifacts buried here, but they're also very well protected. Any place inside of the crypts that hasn't been forced open by the Vitala already is probably more dangerous than the Vitala themselves. So, yeah, you could get into a lot of trouble for desecrating the tomb of the Vitala, especially that some of them are still alive in their tombs, but you have bodies available here.
Yeah, but I don't really care.
Okay.
Like, a corpse is a corpse. I'm just... Okay, I will do only one thing.
Mhm.
I will make sure to not resurrect a body with the name Galmore.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there are some like lower class Vitalas who get buried here because they can't really afford necessarily other places. You avoid the family name Galmore. There aren't that many of them, so it's easy. And you raise 5 undead. Did Van come with you to teleport you back with this troop, or are you just gonna walk through the streets with 5 zombies?
We can walk. I can coordinate my zombies to not be in a pack and take turns.
All right. So you're trying to like maneuver them individually.
I can do that, but if one wants to come with us, if she wants to come with us, she can.
Okay.
I would have stayed with the other two because I don't trust the spider alone with Piper.
Okay. That's a good plan. All right.
How much mana did I absorb from the guard?
From the guard, we're gonna say that you had 5 attempts to drain mana from zombies. And let's see, do I have the profile for zombies? I thought I did. No, I have it for ghost cops. My bad. Okay. Oh yeah, that
So
was.
it will be on basic each time. Want me to roll projection?
No need to roll projection. I'm just gonna roll my magic resistance every time.
Okay.
5
that's
times.
102. No, not 102. About 100. 100. And 40. And about 100. So, but I don't think they have that much in the end.
I think each of them has something like 70. Let me. Each of them has about 70 points of Xeon. So you pass by 5 different guards along the way.
Yeah, okay. So the let me check quickly.
Okay.
Um,
I think at this point I'm just gonna like go back to Walter for just a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm gonna but I am gonna have you and Dagger roll for Streetwise to, guide the zombies in a way that makes it look like they're, working for the army. It's gonna raise some eyebrows that it's some Vitala zombies, because it usually those are
if
like
they can tell that those are Vetalas, maybe the cops are old.
it's true, but they always have claws that are never really retracted.
We can tear them off.
Okay. So in this case, instead of rolling for stuff, I'm gonna ask you to roll for medicine to like
What? Forget the plan.
or disguise.
I'm not good with that.
Okay. So I think so. Yeah, you. Dagger is not very good with that either, but he's gonna try anyways. Nope, that's a -2. Like he's gonna like put gloves on them or put pieces of fabric that are gonna fall halfway through. But he is going to use. Oh, he doesn't have good streetwise either. Do you have any streetwise?
Nope.
Okay. In this case,
Walter has streetwise.
in this case, Dagger is going to suggest that instead of Walter is going to suggest that you either contact Vaughn so that she teleports you back, or that you stealth your way back, but there's a good chance you could be found, or that some of the zombies could be found.
Okay. So we're linked with the essence communication spell.
Yeah.
So I can talk to her.
Mhm.
But would she be able to locate me with the spell?
She would be able to. I'm gonna say it's gonna require a projection check. That's gonna be pretty high to be able to like pinpoint where you are and hit you with the psychic power. But
Okay.
it is doable.
Okay. We can move a little closer to Van if you want.
Okay.
Van.
By the way, I looked up basic zombies, and basic zombies 5 Xeon.
What?
How much?
5 Xeon.
5 Xeon?
Yeah.
Okay. So you took Xeon from the ghost cops
Okay.
instead.
Ghost cops.
That's the one I
Oh,
was.
Piper stinking cool.
Okay. Ooh, open roll on your projection. Nice. All right. I do believe that is going to be enough. I think he's gonna be like somewhere like 10 miles away from you, like this deep in the crypts. So you are. You're gonna need to. Your projection is gonna need to be able to reach that. Where is it? Projection. Okay. Up to 1 mile. Achieving this difficulty. Okay. Oh no, you needed to reach. Okay, it's okay. So, impossible is the difficulty that you're trying to reach. And impossible is a difficulty of 280. That is enough. You hit the group, and you're able to teleport 250 pounds. Does your courage come into play here?
I don't think so, because it's not a defensive projection, but it's also not an attack.
All right. So in this case, you are going to be able to teleport one zombie, I think. 250 pounds. Okay, hold on 1 second.
I think it was more so they're only moving 1 mile. It's a problem.
Oh. Yep.
Indeed.
Okay. So you are. Did you concentrate for this check?
I didn't roll or add concentration.
Okay. You could have concentrated, and you could have. And did you get the plus 20 from the spider and Piper?
No, it was just base.
Okay. So you could have had up to a plus 70 from those different bonuses before you teleported them. So we're gonna say that you just like take the time to concentrate, take the help, teleport everyone from the crypts back into your home.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Walter, you wake up. You are still in the same room. Zombies and ghost cops are swarming the place around you, and you've just been slapped awake by the Void Knight. He says, "Wake up, Galmore! What is this? What happened here?"
The resistance attacked. The psychic, the one you saw, or the one we were chasing.
Damn it. Turns to the body of Edric and says, "It's well, it's one less of these morons to worry about. He was always trying to direct our work in one way or another, but he was good at keeping the population in check. What?
I miss those announcements every morning, but I didn't think Edric was a bad fellow.
Turns to you and says, "You failed to stop the resistance. It's not gonna look good on your family's record, Galmore."
We failed to find them. This isn't going to look good on either of us, on any of us. The threat is more serious than we thought if they decided to attack Edric in his own mansion.
You're right. We might have to call in the big guns. I'm gonna have someone with telemetric powers tell us what happened here. If I can find permission to use telemetric powers on... God damn it. No, he's a noble, he's full of secret, the Vladisburg family might never allow this.
Who are you thinking of calling in? Do you have an agent in mind?
I thought we could take some resources from the Vladisburg labs. They have a couple more inmates there. But if we do this, we're gonna have to do it under the radar, because he was giving us orders here. He was probably giving all of his agents orders here. There's probably a lot of secrets, and whoever's gonna be doing the telemetry will be in danger for knowing this. I don't really care. It's just test. It's just a psychic test subject, but it is going against protocol. I like going against protocol.
Well,
If
you have the leeway to do so, tell me, and I'll try to help. Otherwise, I might be able to figure something out myself.
Get yourself checked up first. It looks like you took a pretty serious wound. Go and find yourself some living creature to drink blood of, so you can heal faster. And I'll see you tomorrow evening, as soon as the sun sets, in my office.
Yes, sir. Will do. He will stand and dust off the charred flesh from his body, and make way for his home.
And as you're leaving, the Void Knight says, if we don't catch them soon, heads are gonna roll. And the zombies don't care much about losing their heads. And and my position is pretty secure, but you might just end up being an example, Walter. Hurry up and find the resistance.
He nods his head again.
Okay.
And we'll move out.
One of the ghost cops stops you along the way and asks you, what were they trying to do? Was this an assassination attempt? Do you know?
That's all it seemed like. They appeared in the room, and within seconds, Edric was dead. I couldn't see it being anything else.
So, why were they targeting Edric in particular? Maybe they were trying to... could be revenge. Could be revenge for the lab and the psychics.
It could be.
They might... The cop looks down, thinks for a second, and says, "We should tell the Vladisburg family to reinforce the security on their test chambers."
I agree.
Okay. Yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask what you were going to do after that.
He is going to go and get some blood.
Okay.
And then he is going to find his way home.
Okay. So you're gonna go to like a nearby store, like like this just I don't know exactly how like this works, but I think like you can pretty much just stop any living being in the streets and just like take their blood. Most in this city, it is sometimes the Vitala do that in exchange for money, but most of the time you're part of the dominant species. You take what is yours. So how do you do this?
I would like, if I could, to find, like, instead of just random people off the street, to find an establishment.
Okay.
Maybe they have a specific line set up or bloodline set up.
Mm-hmm.
Just in an effort to be fancy and to do like a restaurant type ordeal for Vitala, but he's not gonna buy anything fancy. He just doesn't want to like stop someone on the street to drink their blood. At least these people are sort of being monitored so that they stay alive and stuff, I imagine.
All right. You stop at one of the pump stations. The pump stations are basically like the towers over the fighting pits. The bottom of the fighting pits is sort of like grid through which the blood of the fighters and the creatures just seeps down and is collected to make artifacts. But some of it is like not really worthwhile blood for just like with in the weaker fighting pits, in the fighting pits that have like weaker fighters and people who die pretty quickly, and usually these have like a pumping station right next to it that use the power of steam to like push the blood back upwards to the top of the city, where to a pumping station where Vitala can just stop, pull down a lever and just like collect a bit of fresh blood from the pits that's been heated back up by the heat of the forges as it was heading back up through the pipes. So it's like it's not a good taste. You can feel that it has like multiple people in it, that those people weren't very healthy, that like all of this like blood together, the pipes haven't been cleaned very often, but it doesn't cost you a lot of money to like get your fill. You can activate the overfeeding if you want.
No, that's just gonna make me really hyped up for half an hour and then I'm gonna get sick.
Okay. You're going to be paying like for a low quality meal. I'm gonna look up the price for that real quick. And yeah, what do you do after that?
After that, he is going to head straight home. By the way, did I leave my armor set in the building? I thought that Vand and Dagger were still carrying it, though that would be weird for them to teleport into the room with it in hand.
I think they might have like gone back to pick up the armor for you, because it would have been a big like piece of evidence, or there aren't ghost cops everywhere in the mansion, so you could roll for stealth to go back to the room in which you left it, pick it, and like put it under your cape and leave.
I have no really good stealth, so I'm not going to attempt to sneak that out myself.
Okay, I think it was teleported out with the rest to make things simpler.
I was gonna say, if not, I would go and ask them to do it later. Okay.
You arrive home. You arrive home just as everyone is teleporting back into you're making your way home, and it's something weird happens. You're you hear you see some people from the slums. They're waking up and they're hanging out. Some of them are going to the bars that are around here that have that sell pretty potent alcohol, and lots of them are like talking outside of their homes. And that's not a very common sight. And you realize that it's past the time where there would usually be an announcement for a new shift, and people are starting to wake up without being called to a shift. And yeah, there's this different mood in the slums today. You make it home?
Now hold on. Just so I'm knowledgeable of this as well. They would usually wake up to replace someone else.
Yes.
Does that mean that there's somebody else on shift right now
Yeah.
that's being overworked?
Yes, absolutely. There's some people in the forges right now whose shift should have ended already, who have no way of telling the time, and that they can leave. Some people are being overworked.
He will, just casually say, in passing, he'll say, "Hey, there's no announcement today, but just remember that every minute you take, somebody is waiting to be relieved in the forge." He'll say that.
And like you say that like a couple of humans, and like one of the humans just like gives you the bird, and he's like, "No announcement? Then I don't need to go to work. I've been working for you bloodsuckers all week. Barely got any time for myself." And like, you see that he has like a bottle in his hand, and the other one just like, tries to calm his human companion and say like, don't insult a Vitala like this, but also like is giving you a bit of like a threatening stare when he turns to you. Both of them have daggers.
Brave and selfish, and he will leave.
Okay. Yeah, you can tell that for some of those people, it's like they haven't gotten a break like this in
a long time. Yeah.
You make it back home. The hole in your ceiling is not leaking snow anymore, thanks to the efforts of Piper. And yeah, you find everyone in here, plus 5 zombies of Vetala corpses. Your brethren brought back to life to serve.
Where's Rifle?
Rifle, where are you?
Maybe like where Van teleported me.
Okay.
I didn't move.
Okay. I think Dagger had you in his hands, and he's gonna.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna like hand you over to Walter.
So what are these?
Those are zombies.
What is the purpose you have planned for them?
We needed a way to make sure that Spider won't betray us when she's going to send the message to everyone. And zombies can't be mind controlled. So when the test will take place, I would want to be with you and be as far away as possible.
He nods his head, and then through the connection, not out loud, he will say, "So, were the Vitala zombies your idea or Van's?"
I'm pretty sure you can find the answer yourself.
Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter. I know there's a hole. I saw it on the way in.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, let's get this done as quickly as possible. I guess I'll take you for another walk.
All right. As you head out, you see one of the zombies seems to like move when you move, like it's looking at you, Walter, and this zombie was buried with a military uniform.
Don't look at it. Don't.
He's gonna look at this stinking zombie.
I can't see what you see.
Does it have
not?
Does it have any marks that would let me recognize it?
It was buried with like the medals and the like insignias that place him in as one of the people who must have been with you when you went on a crusade against the Duxarist, the Dark Elves, and the regiment he was a part of. They were sacrificed in a major battle that was a defeat on your side, but they were used to help the higher ranking Vitalas, generals, and things like this escape, and you were ordered to cover the retreat. Your family was still considered noble, so you survived. But yeah, he's one of the kids that died protecting, helping you escape during the war, escape death.
He's gonna like square up with this zombie and just casually throw a salute.
Okay.
And see if the zombie responds.
Rifle. Does the zombie respond?
Yes! I was going to whisper to you, but yeah.
Okay.
Did you do that?
No. Wait.
He takes a deep breath and he walks a little closer to the zombie and says,
Not really my best.
"Your death was for naught, but your undeath won't be." And he's gonna move out now.
Okay. The zombie does not necessarily respond. And Rifle has been pretty convincing, but you could roll notice to perceive like slight hesitation in the way. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Rifle.
120 notice.
Like the salute. The salute was with the wrong hand, and like it wasn't as immediate as what would happen with someone who was doing it out of like muscle memory. So like you perceive that it's not genuine.
Gotcha. He'll keep that in mind as they go for a walk.
Okay. All right. While this is happening, so Piper is concentrating, linking the minds of Vand, the spider, together so that they can push their powers together. And Vand, you so you can feel the spider's power extending farther and farther. It's gonna be able to communicate mentally, and it says, what should I transmit? Should I transmit an image of you wearing a mask and reading the speech that I saw in your mind? Should I see somebody else saying the speech, like Dagger? Maybe I could. Maybe if Walter, I could record the memory of Walter saying the speech, and then pass that on. Any of you could be wearing masks, or it could just be an audio. But it's more convincing when it involves more senses for, sentient creatures.
I tell them you can put me in a mask. I don't know if they want to.
Okay. So it says so like it's going to like like either cast an illusion or just like make you put on a mask, and you are I don't know who had it, but you are given Lorena's speech. The spider concentrates, and it is going to tell you in your mind, I'm starting the broadcast now. I'm hitting everyone within a mile of here, and I'm going to push it as much as I can. to hit more people. Go ahead.
Do I have to actually read the speech?
It would be nice to see how you if you give it the same intonations that Lorena was giving it or not. So I think that'd be a nice bit of role play.
Okay. This is a call to revolution. Everyone who can hear me. I've had enough of this. How much longer are we to wait around? How much more of the shit are we going to take from them? How much longer are we going to let the ruling class fuck? I'm not waiting anymore. This is a call to revolution. I've reached my breaking point, and I know many of you have too. It's time to rise. Here's how we do it. Find one another, everyone who has heard this message, and organize. We make safe havens for you, comrades, and for anyone who is downtrodden. Gather those who've had enough of the system and protect one another. Help each other strike where it hurts the enemy. Strike their means of coordination, and fight the oppressors. Read military guerrilla manuals. The only reason this country has ever had this big of an army was never in case of the world rose up against us. It's always been to keep those in power and stop our revolutions. Either we rise up now, or they will slowly kill us in the land we need to live. Now listen. Now listener, decide. Are you with me? If so, then there are instructions for a fire mind spell. Good luck out there.
All right. You finish transmitting like your like the understanding that you have of the spell. You're not necessarily a wizard, so it's not perfect, but you have like the instructions for the spell written with the speech. By the way, that's one of the spells. That's a spell that Rifle could learn if he wanted, and yeah, you. The transmission closes. You see both Piper and the spider just like relaxing as if they just gone through an intense effort, and slowly you start to hear bangs in the distance as some fire mines are activated in the city.
Whoops!
Walter, you're going to see that like there's a guard outpost on the top of the cliff where the slums are that bursts into flames, and that has like.
Here?
Oh, can you hear? Hello?
Hello,
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Everybody can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so like from a large distance, you can see like rubble from the police station just like falling over the slums, crashing into some of it, and then keeping going down until like they just slam into the crypts, and you see a couple of other places in town, near the nearest forges, some of which not necessarily the forges, but you see like one of the fighting pits' walls burst open with under the pressure of a fire mine, and like immediately like the guards rushing in to stop the creatures that are trying to leave, and like some of the creatures that were fighting for their lives are like either skittering or flying away. It's caused quite a lot of chaos.
Okay, sorry. So I wasn't here because Discord crashed.
Oh.
But I was going to. What happened isn't really relevant to what I was going to say to Walter. I was just.
Well, Walter
going to
is
say,
looking at this right now.
I don't know what this is, but I can expect chaos, and that's the second reason why I wanted you and me to go as far as possible. It's because you wanted to be able to control this somehow. Or that it won't be a bloodbath or anything like that. So this is my chance that I give to you.
What do you mean?
I am a tool. You can use me and do whatever you want to prevent chaos and hate.
The chaos has already begun. And I don't think anything I could do with you.
Put on your armor. If you can.
I don't think I brought it with me.
I can make you fly, and you will be able to get your armor pretty quickly.
Oh, we'll go grab my armor if he can give me the flight ability, which is stinking awesome.
Yeah, I will give you the flight ability, but I won't be giving you anything else, and I will be pretty much... Oh no, I will be fine. But not by a lot. So yeah, Oh no. I will need mana. So I'm lethargic now, so don't expect a lot from me.
After the flight ability?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll get you some soon. But all right. He will go and he will grab all of his gear. He'll put on his mask. He'll put on his shield. You guys might see him come back in briefly with tremendous wings to do this.
As you're heading towards your home, back to the slums, you can see that there's you can see from above there is a very clear response on the part of the police. The undead are very quickly amassing in places where there's being disruptions, and they're repressing it, and they're not super efficient, but since they don't feel pain, they're able to take some risks and intervene without risking being destroyed, without being afraid of things. And on top of that, you see a couple of creatures that are summoned from the top towers and other that start to fly down and help, basically help suppress this uprising. You have touched consciousnesses, but the revolution is not necessarily for tonight, because there's still lots of work to be done. You see flying Blatodias being summoned and sent down by the dozens. You see a couple of masses of soul scavengers that can take control of people if they're placed on their shoulders, being sent to calm the riots. You see some demons with wings that have to follow orders of not hurting people too much, and that are trying to fight those orders. You see all kinds of flying and rapid creatures intervening in town. And by the time you make it home to put on your armor, you realize it might be it could be very dangerous after after the mission you've just done to go back out there.
Well, as he gets home and puts on his armor, he is going to say, "Was that message centered around my house?"
And the spider is going to say it was centered on where I was. So yes.
I expected a little more from the resistance, I have to say.
I'm not a member of the resistance, says the spider.
No, sorry. He will I guess he has his mask on, so he's going to look at Van, and when the spider says that, he's going to say, "Not you. get the spider somewhere safe. Get him out of the city.
Um,
Walter is going to like venture a little bit out. He's not going to try to take any fights. What he's mostly looking to do is all he really wants to do. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to like go and kill undead. He doesn't want to fight demons. He doesn't want to fight. Really, he doesn't really want to fight for the resistance. What he does want to do is he wants to be a giant mass of metal that interposes himself between the sides and tells the losing side to run.
Okay, so yeah, you're trying to like mitigate conflict, but that does put you in the line of fire a lot. Let me.
I can still try to protect him with my shield, but
If we come into contact with the demon, you have full permission to drain as much energy as you can.
okay. But I think he will resist.
Okay. Walter, you've already been you've already been pretty wounded by your previous fights. So
I have. By the way, how long has it been?
it's been 4 hours now.
Can I get 4 hours of regeneration? Because I regenerate in 4 hours.
Oh, cool. Then yeah,
I don't regenerate everything. I regenerate a little bit.
Yeah, then yeah, you get 4 hours of regeneration. All right. So like, Vand, what do you do? What are you going to do while? Okay, before Walter comes back, the spider is going to ask if you could teleport it in the tunnels below the city, which are a good enough place for it to live. He's an underground creature. He'll be able to control rats and eat them, and moles and other creatures. He'll be fine there. Just don't teleport me out in the snow, and you'll never have to worry about me again.
I tell him I will do it to the best of my.
Okay. It's going to lend you its powers. Piper is not for this case, so you just get a +10, and you and then they both focus, and then like you both focus, and okay. Are you truthful? Are you really going to try to teleport him to a safe place? He has?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I forgot to add the focus bonus, so that would have been like at least 20.
Okay.
Is it like the underground like a mile away? Or?
Like just the start of the tunnels is like technically the slums is technically already somewhat under like the surface, so it's so you are able to teleport him inside of tunnels within 1 mile. Roll for your projection, please. Uh, 222. That is a... What difficulty is that? That's going to be absurd. Absurd allows you... absurd. Affects the target up to 15... Alright. Yeah, you... you're gonna teleport the spider near another mind that you can sense with like you feel around for something and just like teleport the spider there. You now have a spider who's seen your faces and read your minds, free in the wild, and that might come back to haunt you later in the game. But yeah, Piper is like waiting there for a second, and then she says, what are you gonna do with me?
Well, we'd love to have you help us in the revolution if you'd like, but if you'd want to be transported elsewhere, I can do the same for you.
The Vitala Empire is really everywhere around here, and when it's not them, it's the Xarists. The only place that ever really had any freedom from their rule was this mountain before the Vitala conquered it. There is no place to run, but maybe I can help the resistance. I want to help the people who are still in the labs. But isn't it going to be dangerous?
It is. That's why I wouldn't force it on you. It's your.
Okay. I was gonna ask you to roll persuasion or something. But like since you're giving the choice to her, I think that she's gonna think about it, and you might see her in the resistance again, or you might not. But she says, "Am I free to go? I know where
Yes.
I know where this place is, and I've seen. She hasn't seen your faces. You are technically like you did cover yourselves before you went.
She's only seen Walter's face.
Yeah, I have seen the big vampire's face. Is that okay?
As long as you don't tell anyone.
She nods, and she's gonna leave.
I try to give her a hug before she leaves and tell her to.
Okay. You can feel that like the flag that she's wearing is not gonna protect her from the cold very much, but she has this determined look in her eyes. You know that that most psychics have this strong willpower, this strong drive, and you know that this is gonna take her someplace. You don't know where, but she's.
Take clothes from the zombies.
The dead guy close?
Oh yeah. Does Rifle communicate that? You are
Yeah.
arriving. Okay.
We are flying.
But yeah, I no, yeah,
Okay.
I'm too far. So.
Yeah. I think she is gonna take like clothes from the least rotten clothes and like brush them a little bit, and she's gonna come out of there wearing like the ceremonial dark burial robes, looking a bit like an omen of death. Okay. Walter and Rifle make it back. They start putting their armor on. Vand, they're gonna go back out, and they're gonna intervene and do things. What do you do?
I'll go with them.
Okay. So as you start to head out, like you're heading towards the door, and your door opens, and you see a pale-faced Vitala step inside, and like tells you all back up a little bit, and she takes off the face that she's wearing, and you see that it's a Danjani. And she says, "My name is Whisper. I'm with the Resistance." What did it? Oh, snaps. Okay, I'm with the Resistance. Our psychics have saw the bubble of the psychic power you just cast, and they were able to send me here. I can recognize this room from the vision you just sent, and this place is no longer safe. Come with me. I'll take you to some place where you can lay low.
Okay.
Is this, by the way, this is not my original family home, is it?
No. That's like the rundown place. You're renting it. People have seen you around here, so it could come back to bite you in the ass. But
This is another thing I think we're going to have to destroy.
Whisper says, "I agree," and like you can see that like she like from her purse she picks up a couple of things, and like they're like bright red rocks, and like she snaps them together and they start to emit sparks. She's gonna like throw them towards the back of the room and says, "Let's go now." And
You could have given me time to grab a coffin. Okay, they're gonna go.
you like the coffin is like, you know, like with your military training, it's someplace you can grab it quickly and leave. You know.
Okay.
I think we
Okay.
mentioned
That is. I just want my military coffin. It's been with me for a while. Yep, he's gonna do that.
All right. So you so like yeah, rifle is probably gonna be in there or somewhere. Dagger is coming with you. Where is Vand? What do you are you following this this strange Dunjini?
Yeah, the resident's pretty cool.
Okay. So you she starts to like take you through back alleys. You can hear shouts and confusion. You can see smoke rising from parts of the city, and she says, "You did a great thing today. A lot of people have reacted, and it's perfect timing too, because because a lot of workers were angry at being kept for an extra amount of time, and a lot of other workers were enjoying their free time outside of work, giving them the chance to actually do something for once. You might have saved the resistance today, but you're gonna have to lay low for a little bit. Yeah. Did I describe that your apartment blew up or no?
I don't think we had the moment, but we assumed.
Yeah, basically, like like you're walking through the slums, and you're like a couple of flights of stairs down, and like a military in a part that in a place that looks like an abandoned military ship stuck in the ice, and just like there's a bang, and an entire section of the cliff just like crumbles and falls into the darkness. It looks exactly like the other fire mines that have been cast elsewhere in the city. But if you roll for a cult, you could know what the artifact that I just used is.
Okay, so I might fall asleep because of my Xeon problem.
Okay.
But could I make a check?
Make a check to resist it along the normal rules, I suppose. Because you lost too much fatigue.
No. It's just that I have some minus point. But if you want to say that as I am a sword and when I don't have mana, I like enter in some sort of sleep mode, I wouldn't object.
No, I think it's more interesting if you are constantly like awake, unless there's like a sleep spell on you, because like
Okay.
you don't really need a sleep cycle at all. You're just a consciousness that's there. So you're probably very bored when the others go to sleep and stuff like this.
Oh. Yeah.
I think
I am plotting when those are. I'm plotting when those are sleeping.
Okay,
So
good.
not really a problem.
Okay, so
So I'm just calculating my malus.
yeah. If you want, you can meditate if you have a positive willpower modifier, the rules for meditation are at the beginning of Arcanine
Yeah,
set.
but I don't. I can't. Oh,
No regeneration of Xeon.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're
So I have a minus 25, I think.
okay.
Oh no, 20.
Oh, did they?
Sorry.
I think they just updated this. Okay, whatever.
No, it's 10 for the fatigue and 10 for the Xeon.
Oh no, they just changed the way the music looks
Oh,
during our session. But yeah, okay. Rifle, occult.
Yeah, I made I already implemented the malus.
The penalty. Okay, good. Just give me 1 second to get the right book. Okay, so yeah, you. While I'm looking for this, I'm just gonna make like other descriptions. You are being taken through corridors carved inside of the mountain. You pass like it's here. Lines of sight are much smaller. It's much more discreet. Whisper is taking you through some tunnels that are not necessarily frequented by the best people, but she seems to have like a very sharp ear. She tells you to stop minutes at a time while her senses are while she presses her ears against like the walls of the tunnel, and like she takes you through this part of the city like no trouble at all. Opens up at some point like a secret passage in one of the corridors behind the very large mushrooms that are being grown to feed the entire population, and you keep going deeper and deeper into the mountain on a very long tunnel for hours and hours on end. And yeah. Okay, so you have enough of the fable. Okay, so you rolled 180 on the occult for fable. So just give me 1 second. Identification of artifacts. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay, just giving me okay. Supernatural analysis or researching a fable can be performed with 2 different checks. The first is always considered a primary analysis, a quick once-over performed upon coming in contact with the object. Later, the character can make a second check after finding the time to invest in close study of the object, accepting the second result as correct. Time spent and the materials available determine the modifier of the roll. You don't have research material on you. You don't spend any time, so it's just that test. And it was occult, not magic appraisal. So you have identification. At this level, you have fully identified the artifact. Those are fire gems, I think they're called. You have a good idea of its history and powers and how they should work. Only certain details and particularly bizarre powers are still hidden from you. This level of knowledge allows you to use the ritual powers of the artifact. Okay, fire gems are crystal of an elemental nature. They form when an elemental entity of intermediate or greater power dies, and the flames from its body coalescing into a solid form. You might have found things like this in the fighting pits, for example, if a fire elemental was summoned. Because of their origin, these crystals have the ability to swallow flames they come into contact with, which also serves the function of allowing them to recharge. However, if overloaded or struck hard enough, the gems explode. Thus, they can serve both as a protection against fire and as high explosives, capable of devastating large areas with the fires they unleash. Generally, fire gems are black crystals, but as they absorb fire, they become red and radiant. In their natural state, they are often rough and unrefined. If cut and polished, these gemstones become more effective and can absorb greater quantities of heat. There wasn't once a time when it was easy to use fire gems. Yeah, never mind. As for its history, it's been around. They've been around for a lot. You don't know the details of how exactly they work, but you know that's the artifact that was used.
Okay. I relay the information to Van and Walter.
All right.
And Dagger because I can.
Yeah. So the Whisper, when you're far enough away, says, "All right, I'm going to take you outside of the city. There's a campment. There's a few places that the Resistance controls. There's a faction. There's 4 factions in the Resistance, and one of them is called the Old Men. That's who I'm taking you to. The Old Ones. The Old Ones. They used to. They're descendants of the people who used to live on this mountain before it was taken by the Vitala. They've been trying to preserve the cultures that they had here before, and they do not like Vitala. Like she turns to you, Walter, and she says, "It might be hard to bargain for them to protect you, but you did something great for the Resistance tonight. I'm sure they will help you lay low." Now, I know the chief of the Old Ones. He's called Chief Bakaya. He's a giant, and he's a sort of let's just say liberation fanatic. Their faction is very strong when it comes to warriors, and they get angry easily. So be careful what you say, careful what you do, and play nice. I'm not a member of their faction. I'm with the party, the people who are doing this for political reasons, and in order to make sure that everyone's needs are met. Everyone deserves to live, apart from those who actively oppress us. So that's where I stand personally, but that means I don't have much sway over Chief Bakaya. That's the safest place I can think of for people like you to lay low for a little bit. Walter, we can pretend that you can pretend that you were on a mission or dealing with stuff in the chaos of the city and investigating something and get you back in your position later. But for now, we can't let them find you. Do any of you say anything, answer anything?
This is all so much. He's still he's still sort of looking back over his shoulder at the smoldering wreckage that was his house for a while, and now he has a huge stinking shield, a huge sword, and then a coffin on his back. He is very heavy right now.
Yeah, like you have a lot to carry around. Dagger is traveling a little bit more lightly and is going to maybe help you with some stuff.
No, I can carry it all fine. It's just that I have a lot of bulk.
Yeah. Vanden rifle. Are you doing anything specific while during this talk? Just let it happen.
No, not really.
Okay.
I guess I'll go with you. Seems like it's harder to keep up this defense every new hour.
Right. So you, the slope of the tunnel you're in starts to rise slowly, and you are going to make your way into a larger cavern. At the edge of the tunnel that you're taking, there are giant guards and who are just staring into the darkness from which you're coming. You do hear the sound of an alarm, of a bell ringing as you get closer, and Whisper gets close to the guards. She gives them a couple of passwords, some of which you've heard in the Resistance before, some of which you haven't, and the guards nod, and they're gonna let you through, and they're like observing all of you very closely, but one of them is just gonna spit in front of Walter's feet and say, "You have no place here, invader," and you keep going. This cavern is much larger. It has you see it has houses. You see it looks like a military camp. There's like mostly tents, but also like stone places. There's a forge on one side. There's some civilians. There's some kids running around. There's a lot of giants, elves, the cat people, the angelic Budans. And you don't see any Vitala or any undead anywhere, and you're getting a lot of stairs, and you also don't see any Dunjini apart from Whisper. You make your way to a large tent, and
if it helps, I'm still wearing my mask right now.
Okay.
But if they would let me do that, come in. If not, that actually makes sense that they would not let me wear.
No, like they would ask you to like reveal your identity, and because of the claws at the tip of your hand that all Vitala have that are not really retractable, you would have those like with the armor. The armor is made for Vitala, so even if you were a human wearing this armor, people would still think that this is probably a Vitala, you know?
Oh, I was hoping that I could get that not the case, because the entire idea of the armor was also partially to keep me hidden, as my identity as a Vitala hidden.
Okay.
I should have given the helmet horns so that they'd think I was a giant. Go on, sorry.
Yeah,
but didn't you put holes in the back for the wings?
I guess I just had to. Oh no, because you could give me wings even before the armor was conceived. So yeah.
All right. So yeah. By the way, for people out there, giants, they're very tall. They've got horns, and they have and some of them turn into minotaurs when an ancient blood curse is put on them. They also have a third eye that allows them to see spirits, so they are very in touch with the spiritual world. You make your way in. So Whisper says, "I'll go talk to him. You stay here for a little bit," and you hear a very gruff voice, a very strict voice, like a Walter that reminds you of a general, Van that reminds you of the scientists who were barking orders when you were doing tests with your psychic powers. Rifle, it reminds you of your mentor. And you don't hear the response. It's like Whisper is not talking in there. And Bakaya's gonna flips open the tent, looks at all of you, says, "So, you're the ones who've lit up the revolution in town, inspired a lot of people. It's a shame what happened."
That time we also killed Edric.
Good. Couldn't stand his presence in my mind every time I went near the city. You should be thanked for your hard work, all three of you. And well, of course, you've brought us A prize, I see.
I'm not a prize.
No, I was thanking you and saying the prize is him. He points at Walter.
This is not a prize.
I say this is actually Lady Gallamore's son.
There's a few whispers among the people that are gathered here. There's like a couple of soldiers that have moved closer and a lot of civilians, and like they've heard the name before. And Chief Bakaya says, well, Lady Gallimore is part of the Makers faction. Those merchants and discarded royals and discarded nobles who just want nothing more than to get their place back. They're not trying. They just want to overthrow the government to put in their own and without changing anything else. They're not true revolutionary like us. The
That
old
makes
ones.
no sense. She lost her place because she joined the revolution. Why would she join it just to get that back?
Maybe she wasn't satisfied with the rank that she had. I can't speak for the Makers. Just trying to imagine what their brains is like. It's giving me a headache. I know you've seen. If you've ever met one like that alchemist Joe de Sapio, you'll know that they only think about one thing, and that is their own power. We're trying to restore the cultures of this place, restore the land to its people. We are the true resistance. And, but we're facing a lot of troubles. I've agreed to hide all three of you for the time being and to keep Vitala in a place where where he won't hurt anybody. But I have a favor to ask you. If you are willing to help us, we have a big problem staying on this mountain.
Oh, what is that? What problem?
There's something that's been attacking us, killing off some of our men when we go up to the surface to hunt. In the cold, they just disappear. They reappear days later, completely frozen. Terrible wounds on their bodies. Something out there is killing my men, and it's not a vampire, and we don't know exactly what it is. A giant returned recently, and he said that it was a spirit. We respect spirits, and it's a shame that Lorena died. She was a respected member of the Old Ones, but, well, this one, if it's going to attack this village, and if it's going to attack the monastery of the fourth faction, the Church of the Many Gods, then, well, we are going to have some trouble. We would like you to go out there and kill this creature. And since it's probably supernatural, you would get a reward out of it. He takes out a pouch, and like it has some runes on it, and it's faintly glowing. He puts it down. He says, this was given to us by the alchemist, Sapio. He's an elf downtown who makes artifacts. In case we ever kill this supernatural creature out here, we can capture its essence in there, and then that essence can be made into an artifact, a powerful weapon. If you go out there, you kill this creature that's been killing my men, you'll be helping the resistance, and you'll be getting yourself a brand new weapon or armor or whatever you want to enchant. Or at least the fuel to make it. You were strong enough to slay Vitala, Lord, a powerful psychic. Can you go out in the cold and kill this thing?
Well, hopefully it's as easy as Edric was. You know what I mean?
Uh,
But
yeah.
yes, I would love to.
All right. Dagger is we'll see what Dagger says at the other time, and Chief Bakaya turns towards you and turns towards Rifle. He closes his eyes and you see his third eye opening, and he's addressing you while he's using his third eye to perceive your magic, and he says, "What about you, Sword? I can feel there's a spirit in there, a conscience."
Indeed, I talked to you earlier. Whatever my wielder says, I will follow.
You know, you could have a much more respectable warrior wielding you, not one who has the blood of innocence on his hands. You could do a lot of things if you were in the right faction of the resistance. But if you're content with this wielder for now, so be it. Wielder, what do you have to say? I might trust you a little bit more if you render us a service. Maybe I'll think that not all of you are bad. Maybe you'll backstab them and leave them to die in the snow. Appleby?
I will
Oh, sorry.
do as you say, but I actually have another task I was going to present to my companions, and you if they are amicable.
You have another what?
Another task to present to my allies here, and you if you are amicable.
Talk.
You know who I am. I have many comrades within the guard. One of them, a Void Knight. We were speaking recently after the death of Edric, and he has decided that it might be within our best interests to go off of the book and find another psychic, somebody skilled in the field of telemetry, to figure out what happened. This would place me at risk. No harm to you, obviously. But if I could find someone to take the place of that telemetric, at least to fake the part well enough, I might be able to lure him in a position of vulnerability, and that would be another great boon to our cause.
Bakaya says, oh, of course, you're the one who's talking about assassinations and lurking in the shadows to make murders. You'd be a great member of the party. He turns to Whisper and he says, well, you've heard this information. You could arrange to have a psychic or someone who's good at pretending to be a psychic offer services to the Void Knight. Whisper says, I can figure something out. I might not put him in a dangerous position, but I might cover for the events that happened and lead the Void Knight on a wild goose chase. Tire the police forces a little bit. There is a chance that they could link the telepathic broadcast that you did with the attack on Elric, in which case we need to. I'm going to need to take care of covering up, but you don't have to worry about this. I know you're more warriors and mystics. I'll take care of the spy stuff. And she says, I'll leave you now. You're in safe hands. She turns to Bakaya and she says, anything happens to Walter while he stays here could lose us an important contact with inside of the Vitala society. if something bad happens to if he gets hurt under your care, there will be the party will not be happy and there will be repercussions. Makai is like, don't threaten me. Like, Whisper just nods, walks away, and you're offered, and like it's around this time that like you hear like a giant, like sturdy giant woman calling for the soup of the day. You can see like a giant cauldron in which they've like put a lot of bits and pieces of mushroom and water from a clear stream nearby, and some spices, something that's like giving it a little bit of a strange smell. Some of you can basically like the whole camp, apart from the guards who are on duty, starts to line up in front of the cauldron, and Bakaya says, come on, let us enjoy the I'll show you the hospitality of the old ones, and I'll make sure you're all well fed with the proper food. And like he turns to you, Walter, and you can tell he was not addressing you at all when he said he was making sure everybody would be fed. So yeah, I think this would be a good point to end the session today.
Yep.
I agree. 2 things though. Walter won't stay. He's gonna leave his armor and everything. Second thing, he's gonna say, "Hey, rifle,
Yeah.
go see if there's anyone here who can give you some Xeon." There's freaking Sylvain everywhere. Surely they got some to spare.
Yeah. Yeah, all Sylvains and all I think also all Daimas, the cat people have magic. So you got a few like wizards just walking around, even if they're not particularly well trained, they'll still have magic.
I love the heck out of these wings, but I forgot that we're gonna, unless you also give me metamorphosis or something, which is really high level, we're gonna have to turn them on and off all the time.
Yep.
Anyways, good game.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the next game. It should be like a bit of a shorter mission. You're gonna go out, track down this creature, and there'll be a fight or some discussions, and yeah, and then we'll go back to the city after things have calmed down. Everybody had fun. Everybody liked the direction this game is going so far.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was really fun. I did not think I was gonna let him bolt him down.
Sorry?
Yes, he did not
I
get
didn't-
like.
He did not like that lightning bolt.
No,
That lightning bolt was very... Wow.
He did not, but like when you're a telepath and you're relying on your illusions to protect you, if one person sees through your main illusion, you can just get murdered really easily. So like that's a good thing to know for next time if you're trying to like limit the number of people, if you're trying to like take someone alive. It's not an entirely failed mission because you still got the message out to some people, but like could have been better, could have been worse.
I was gonna use Shatter, but I was like, he might
That can
resist.
kill people really quick too.
Yeah,
I don't have psychokinetic impact. I only have Shatter.
but you can choose to lower your psychic potential results, your psychic potential before you roll, to make sure that you're doing less damage, and you can lower your psychic projection to make sure you're hitting less vital points. You know.
I will keep that in mind for
Yeah.
next time. But she was just really mad at him, so she didn't hold back.
That makes total sense. You don't have to worry about explaining that at all.
Give him the buzz.
Yeah. Okay. Experience points. Okay, we closed a segment. It was a small segment, but it was still a segment. So that's gonna be, I'm gonna say 15 points. Interpretation. We had some nice role-playing moments. Today was mostly logistics and the combat. So I'm gonna get another 15 to the group. So that's 30 points. Difficult actions. You killed you killed the Vitala Lord Edric. That was difficult.
One-shotted Edric.
Yeah. You organized to have your psychic broadcast happen without a lot of difficulties. So that's like, yeah, those were the difficult actions you had to face. So I'm gonna give you, let's say 35. Good ideas and plans. You had a good idea teleporting inside. You had a good idea inside of the hall. You had a good idea when Walter tried to like enter the room and distract Edric. You had the good idea of using the undead to to ensure the safety with the Lagor. You had the good idea of using the Lagor to send your psychic message. So that is going to end up at, I'm gonna say 55 plus we played 3 hours, so that is going to be 63 experience points for everyone.
Woo!
And I'm gonna write it here. So that Dagger also gets experience points.
Very good. I'm only 96 away, or 106 away.
106 away. Okay, cool. Just a couple more sessions like this, and you should be leveling up. Don't forget your level modifiers and your experience. Walter and Dagger get less experience points. Okay, cool. Anything else? I'm not going to be giving Elon for this game, so at least like not until you start doing things that are very like Elon related.
If we go through this whole game and we do not have anyone with Uriel, this is going to be weird.
Uriel is hope, right? Or freedom?
No, Uriel is freedom.
That is fair.
I'm not like saying that as like something against you. Obviously, Walter would not get that because he's not necessarily doing it for the freedom. But somebody in our group, it feels like would wind up getting some with him.
Her.
Well,
Yeah.
Uriel is the one male barrel.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. I'll consider it while you're like freeing people. But yeah, we like I'm ending the recording now.
Okay.
Hi everyone, and thank you for watching this video. If you want to keep up with all of the adventures on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so you can get a notification each time we upload the next episode of this story. And it would be very nice of you to like and share the video to help this channel grow. Have a nice day, everyone.